Hey, second grade. We're ready for lesson 24, session 3 or day 3, ways to compare links. And we're just going to continue our discussion on ways to find that difference, that big number difference we talked about before. So we're going to figure out which one's longer, which one's shorter, and then what the difference is. All right, so here we go.
Okay, so the first problem just asks how much shorter in inches is the eraser than the crayon? So last time we met, we discussed some different strategies, and one of the strategies that we could use was a number bond or a number model, right? So we would put the big number on top, we know one of the parts, and we would just have to solve for the missing number. But I'm wondering if anybody can think of another strategy that we could use to figure out how much shorter this eraser is than this longer crayon. So, Mrs. Walker, do you have any ideas?
Well, I was thinking the easiest way or the simplest way was to just do standard algorithm, but I'm not sure if that's the one you were looking for.
No, I mean, I think that standard algorithm definitely works. So, what would that look like then?
So I would say I always take the bigger number. So 5 minus 2 equals 3.
Okay, so then
And
the
then we have
answer would be
3 inches because we have to have that label.
perfect.
So that's the way I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I think that that works for sure. I mean, I think you could also, there's a lot of different ways. You can just know that 5 is 3 less than
Mm-hmm.
2, right? So, or 3 more than 2, I meant. So you would take 3 away.
Right.
I mean, you could use fingers. Like, there's a lot of ways, but the point of the matter is that you need to know that this is a subtraction problem. So if
Right.
we're going to figure out how much shorter is, it's a comparison, right? And a lot of
Right.
what we've done for comparisons um, have been either standard or have been number bonds. So we can definitely keep to those two strategies and be successful.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and look at some of the strategies that our book talks about.
So it says you can measure each object and find the difference. So they got their ruler out, they measured, and then we could count the hops. So 1, 2, 3. So that's another easy way for us to do it is actually get the ruler out and count the hops.
Definitely. Another thing that you can do is you can line up one end of the eraser and the crayon so that they're even right here. And then you can use a ruler to measure the difference. So what you would do is you would line up that first 0 line. And I want you to notice that the 0 line right here is not the same as the edge on the ruler. So you do have to pay attention to that. There's a little extra wood on that ruler that we don't want to include when we measure. So you line up this 0 line with the smaller object, and then you draw a little line right here that shows the end of the second larger or longer object. And then again, you can do your hops. So you could just go 1, 2, 3, or you could even just know from 0 to 3, that's 3 inches, right?
Yes, very nice.
So those are some different strategies that you can definitely use if you have the two objects and you can manipulate them around and you can pick up your ruler and move it.
Right. All right, so let's go back over what we just did, kind of make those connections and explain. So it said, look at the measure it and explain how to find how much shorter the eraser is than the crayon. So what did we do to find how much shorter the eraser was? What did we do that we could write in words?
Well, we just subtracted the length of the smaller thing. So we subtracted the length of the eraser from the length of the bigger object, which was the crayon, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's all we did in words, subtract the,
the length
subtract the length
of the eraser.
Oh my gosh, I cannot type or spell today.
From
from
the length of the crayon.
The length of the crayon. Easy.
So very easy.
Yeah. So how much shorter is the eraser than the crayon? Well, in words, what's the answer?
The answer was 3 inches.
Perfect.
3 inches, yep.
Okay, so if you look back at this slide right here, that's the model it slide, the next question is asking us, what is measured in the model it? So I'm gonna flip back to the model it really quick. We're gonna take a look at it, and then we're gonna discuss what we're actually measuring. So look here, we're measuring this space right here.
Right.
So what are we measuring?
We're really measuring the difference, right? What was left between there.
We are measuring the difference between the eraser and the crayon.
Yes, perfect.
All right.
All right, so Henry has 2 paper clips. Circle the paper clip that is shorter. And how many inches shorter is it? So just looking at it really quick, this should be super duper, super easy. The first paper clip is 1 inch. The second paper clip is 2 inches. Which one's shorter?
1 inch.
1 inch. The purple one. Nice job. So now it says, how many inches shorter is it? So can we easily just in our head find the difference?
Definitely. 2 minus 1 is 1.
1. And then we need to make sure we put that inch.
Perfect.
Very nice. All right, moving on.
Okay, the next one says, Sharon has 2 pieces of ribbon. What is the difference in lengths of the pieces of ribbon in centimeters? Show your work. Okay, so really quick, I'm gonna just make a quick little number bond for us, okay? Be patient with me. Takes a second when I can't just write on my screen. Okay, here's one of the parts. And, ooh.
Ooh.
Not sure what happened there. And one of the other parts. So we have 2 numbers. We know that one of them is 15 and one of them is 9. And we are just comparing them. We're not trying to come up with a third piece of ribbon, right? So what is the big number that we already know?
15 centimeters.
Okay, so in the big box, the top box for the whole, I'm going to put 15 because we know that's the larger piece. And then the other piece that we know is this red ribbon right here. So how long is that red ribbon?
9.
9. So now I know that I would have a minus here and a minus here and a plus in between my circles, right?
Right.
I'm just gonna put this plus right here because I think it's all good for us to be able to see that. Okay, so I know that I could take 9 plus something to equal 15. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So my missing number is 6.
6.
So what is the difference in centimeters?
6 centimeters. So we showed our work by doing the number bond, and now we just need to write out our answer, which is 6 centimeters. And then we solved that problem correctly.
Now, we could have done it the standard way also, right, Mrs. Walker? So how would you have done it if you had done it the standard way?
So I would have still taken the bigger number, so 15 minus 9 equals 6. And then I would have put my label centimeters. And remember, know our facts, right? We can do that, but we still had to show our work. So either way, we still had to write it out, even though I hope that you know that answer, right?
Totally. And I always like to point out that we did some different strategies, but we still got the same answer. So it really doesn't matter which strategy you use if this is the fastest and the easiest strategy for you, because you still get the same answer. Exactly. So that's the lesson for today.
Yep. Your green pages are 583 and 584. Very simple. Make sure you use your words and labels if needed. And good luck.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.